All right, today we're going to talk a little bit about meatballs, a spicier meatball. Everybody has their meatball recipe, so this is just mine. This is one of them. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Some people have mixed meats, chopped meat, ground beef, well, ground meats. This one is beef. I'm going to make a beef meatball today. So whether you like to add some pork to it, you like to add some ground veal, whatever you like, that's up to you. But I'm just going to show you one of the meatballs that I like to make. So I got about 2 pounds of ground beef here. I'm going to crack 2 eggs. I usually put 1 egg per pound. So I got my eggs in, some fresh chopped Italian parsley. This is a blend of Parmesan and Pecorino. I like to mix the two of them. Too much Pecorino for me gets a little salty, and I like the flavor of Parmesan. So we're going to put about 1/2 cup. I add a little bit of granulated garlic. Some people like to chop fresh garlic and put in, it's fine. I just find when I put chopped garlic into a meatball, if I'm making a bigger batch, some of the garlic gets lost and then some of it gets found. I put a little bit of granulated garlic in and I know I'll mix it all the way through. This is a little bit of dry basil. And then also in my meatballs, which some people like and some people don't, is dry oregano. So I like to put a little bit of dry oregano in, just give it a little bit of flavor. Also, what I like to put in my meatballs, this is tomato paste, okay? It gives it a nice, the meatball, for me, a nice tomato flavor. I'm gonna cook them in my sauce a little bit, but if I'm not gonna cook in my sauce and I just wanna bake some meatballs or fry them, we'll talk about that later, it has a little bit of tomato flavor into it and a little bit of sweetness. If you get a good tomato paste, it'll add a little bit of sweetness to it. This is the Mutti tomato paste. It's a double concentrated one. So this is a 4.5 ounce tube. I'm gonna add about 2 ounces into my meatballs. And then also what I like to do is, this is the Prima Dolce ricotta from, this is Grande, you can get it. This is a curdier ricotta and it's what I like. So you'll see it's not as smooth as some of the other ricottas out there. This is basically like a fresh ricotta. There's a lot of different ones out there, so it all depends on what you can get your hands on in the retail stores. And then breadcrumb. You have to have breadcrumb, all right? It's a binder, it's gonna help hold it together, but you can't just only have breadcrumb. So some people add milk, some people add cream. I just add some water to mine. Okay, I'm gonna start with that and then see how it comes together. For me, it just goes by feel. You want it to, you don't want it to be too tight. You want to have a little space to it. And then I'm just gonna go in and then start mixing my meatballs. Okay, meatballs mixed. Also, I added a little bit of salt and pepper to it to taste. So what you can do is 2 things. Is you can take a little bit, you can fry it up in a pan or bake it in the oven. Taste it, see how your flavor profile is. Also on that note, everybody has a different way of cooking. Who likes to fry them, who likes to bake them. Sometimes I'll just take the meatballs raw and put it into my tomato sauce and let them cook in the sauce. All depends on what's going on. Mostly though, I'm a baked meatball guy. So I like to bake my meatballs. So I have my cookie sheet here, a little bit of olive oil on the bottom. I'm gonna spread it out, okay? And then I'm gonna take my meatballs. So I used the oil on here. It helps slick the gloves a little bit. You can also have a little bit of water on your side and put on your hands to help the meat from sticking to your hands. All right, so we're gonna make our meatballs. We're gonna bake them in the oven. This size meatball, you wanna have an internal temperature of about 185 degrees because it's ground beef. So we're gonna probably let them cook. I'm figuring they're gonna cook about 45 minutes at 350. Meatballs are rolled. Also, one thing, if you come out to Chicago, if you're from out of state, or if you're in town, don't forget we have cooking classes here all the time. Chef Steph is jamming out all different cooking classes, mostly Italian, but it's what we do, and we do it good. So our meatballs are rolled, but also if you do come out here to Chicago and you're looking for something else to do, look up my guy Jonathan, Big John at Chicago Pizza Tours. And you can go take a tour downtown Chicago, in the suburbs. He's all over the place. I'm gonna take my meatballs now rolled, go right into the oven, 350. All right, we're gonna check them in about 35 minutes. We'll check our internal temp. All right, so we're at about 45 minutes. Meatballs are done. So let's go in. Oh, smells like mom's house. So there's options. You can either eat them like this, you can make a sandwich. We can take them, and if we want to put a couple into our sauce. So this is our home sauce, okay? That I grew up making or eating in my house, okay? With the seasoning, with a little bit of the dry basil, granulated garlic, onions, fresh garlic, salt and pepper. So we can put it in there and simmer them in there, and then we have our Sunday sauce, right? So in America, we all like our mashed potatoes and meatloaf. What I like to do here, and what I grew up with, is this is a prima dolce ricotta. This is a smoother. So we'll put a base on a plate. All right, we have our meatballs in the sauce. We'll take them. Instead of mashed potatoes, we got our ricotta base. We'll put one. Yeah, we'll put one for now. Meatball. We're gonna take our sauce. We'll ladle it on. Now, North American Pizza and Culinary Academy is in Illinois. In Chicago or the surrounding Illinois, everybody likes to put giardiniera on everything, okay? Not something we grew up with in the East Coast. But this is a mix of hot peppers, carrots, celery, cauliflower. This one is a spicy one. So I'm gonna take a little bit, and I'm gonna put a little bit on top of the meatball, and I'm gonna take some shaved Parmesan. Not your mama's meatball. So that's a nice spicy meatball. Okay? Meatballs on ricotta, our house sauce, okay? And some giardiniera, hot giardiniera, and shaved Parmesan. Enjoy.